G'day, my name's Rhodes Featherstone and I play for the Texas team.
Featherstone, New Zealand's 7-star, whips it over the top. Tenerio cuts through a couple, the Brazilian international, then gets cut down himself, but Featherstone is there. Rhodes Featherstone, the big unit is over.
So I grew up in Wellington, capital city of New Zealand, born and raised through there. Not a lot to it, pretty typical Kiwi background. My mum used to live in the city, my dad used to live out in the country, so I got the best of both worlds. I've always played rugby, but I never took it particularly seriously in terms of training outside of rugby. I didn't necessarily want to be a professional. I was a pretty small kid, real lanky. I played at my high school, St Patrick's College in Wellington, but I never really played for the first 15, so that's the top team for the school. I managed to get a couple games for them, but it was when we were playing some pretty rubbish teams, so they put like our second 15 in. So when I left school, I definitely didn't think that I was going to be a professional. I definitely wasn't trying to be. It wasn't until I moved to Taranaki when I was about 21, and even after a couple of years of being there, I kind of got a kick up the arse by a few of my coaches for Inglewood, which was my local club, telling me that if I wanted to, I could actually be a professional footy player. So I started playing for the Taranaki B team, which was my goal at the time, and then once you spend a bit of time in that environment, you see the odd player get called up to play professional rugby. And so being in there and seeing guys before me do it, that became my next goal. So then I wanted to play for Taranaki, and I managed to do that, get a couple games for them, and at the same time I was also playing for the Taranaki Sevens team. And so yeah, I think I just had the right people rooting for me, and I got a call one day and got the invite to go over and join the All Black Sevens. Yeah, first thing that went through my head was just, I got to tell the parents, I got to tell my father. My father's a mad rugby fan, and so yeah, giving him the call was pretty awesome. He was driving his truck at the time. I had to say it about 5 times so he could hear me over the Bluetooth. And then yeah, my partner was out on the farm working, so I ran out there to tell her as well, and that was pretty cool. But you know, it's just a buzz, absolute buzz. I've been pretty fortunate that while I've been playing rugby, I've had a lot of great coaches, a lot of guys that have really valued me as a person and kind of ultimately pushed that forward ahead of anything else. Obviously the New Zealand Sevens coaches, just the opportunity for them to give me an opportunity, I'll be forever grateful. Taranaki, the coaches there are just amazing at, again, pushing forward people who they think deserve it. And then, you know, I've got junior coaches that, I mean, I wouldn't still be playing rugby if it wasn't for them. It's pretty easy to, if you have a bad coach, for you to decide to not play something, so I'm pretty fortunate that I haven't had too many of them. Well, in the Sevens environment, a player that I've definitely looked up to is Tim Mickelson. I mean, he's the GOAT. He is one of the all-time greats in terms of World Sevens, so to be in an environment that had him in it is pretty crazy, and to walk out, you know, onto a training field next to him has been pretty cool. And he's someone who's battled a lot of injuries in recent times. You know, up until Toulouse in London, he hadn't played since the Olympics, and the whole time he had been grinding and working like an absolute horse, and that was bloody cool to see. To see a guy that had been there and had done that, still willing to put in the work, definitely sets the tone for the squad. And as an individual, you know that if he's willing to put in some work, then heck, I may as well. And yeah, so I joined them in 2022 and managed to get my debut this year. And then yeah, got the call into PR7s. Brady Rush come over last year from the All Black Sevens, and he loved it. He always talked about it, so I thought, what the hell? If you're going to invite me over, I may as well take it. So no, it's been awesome, and just to play more Sevens as well. Like, I'm still pretty fresh in my career, so any opportunity to play more is one I'm going to take. To be in a league where, you know, equality is genuinely valued is it's pretty cool, and it's something that should have, you know, been around a lot sooner. But to be a part of a group, to be a part of a competition that is genuinely pushing that forward is pretty bloody cool. And I think you can see it too. I mean, you see when you're in the hotel, you see everyone catching up with everyone, and everyone has a relationship with each other, whether you're on the same team or not, from the same franchise. And I think that just adds even more value to the competition. You know, I think it's incredibly physical here, and and the guys have just got so much ability. It's pretty cool to see. It's real cool to see, like just natural athletes. You just know that if they keep to it, if they play a couple more years, they're going to be phenomenal rugby players. So I think for guys to be playing as well as they are now, with as little experience, it's almost pretty scary, to be fair. What makes rugby so special, there's so many cultures involved in rugby, so many people from different walks of life. It's hard not to find a cool story about someone's background or something that they've overcome, whether it's injuries or their home life or anything like that. And supporting rugby is essentially supporting those stories. You know, it allows people to live out their dream, to meet new people, to travel the world. And I mean, heck, if you're supporting it, not only should you feel good about yourself, but you know, it's a pretty bloody cool image, I reckon. It's such an inclusive sport. Like you said, we've got an equal competition here. It's unmatched to a lot of others around the world. Like it makes bloody sense to support it. If it keeps growing, then everything that underlies it keeps growing as well. I want to play rugby as long as I can. You know, I'm pretty fortunate to be in this position, and I know that. So, you know, try and experience as much of the world as I can while playing the sport that I love. I like to have a family, park up. You know, it'd be pretty good fun. Again, I'm still a kid myself, so wouldn't mind having a couple running around to be kids with. So we have the Olympics next year, so I want to make sure I put myself in the best position to try and go to the Olympics. And then obviously we also have the World Series and everything as well. So pretty much try and earn that black jersey again and make sure I'm putting myself in a position to represent my country.